26 episodes. Yep, 26 episodes of Neo Reality Collective. If you count the bonus episode, that would be 27, but this is 26. Consider the bonus ones to be 2.5, 25.5 if you want. But yeah, the special breaking news thing I talked about, I just felt like having to talk about that. And take it outside of the narrative of the main big talk. But we're here since DC 5G's Future State went ahead and took over the process of being its own episode. It led to it being basically cutting off all the comic news that broke out today, because that was the biggest piece of comic news that really broke out today that was worth talking about. So yeah. So, WWE, according to Cultaholic and various other sites I've been hearing, that apparently WWE is using recorded footage on NXT's LED screens. Yeah, since TakeOver 31, the Black and Gold brand has broadcast all programming from the Capitol Wrestling Center, similar to Amway Center, which hosts Raw and SmackDown. The ring is surrounded by LED screens filled with virtual fans. All the fans in the video have been seemingly aren't live though. Wrestling fan Jesse Devin and could be seen on the LED screen behind Fandango and Tyler Breeze last night's NXT, but she tweeted a video saying she was actually watching AEW Dynamite. She wrote, "Why is WWE using stock footage of old Thunderdome participants in the Capitol Wrestling? LOL, LOL. I am not there. I'm watching AEW Dynamite. Y'all, I have zero problems with it. I'm actually flattered that they thought my footage was good enough to use twice. I'm not outraged either. When you agreed to enter the Thunderdome, you agreed to terms and conditions. I'm sure this was in there in their famed wall of text." Fightful Select later reported multiple reads have told them that their image had appeared inside despite them not live streaming at the time. So, yeah, WWE. Okay, I'm just gonna say, does WWE still think NXT doesn't matter to Vince? Like, let me put on my conspiracy hat. I don't have my fedora anywhere, so I can't use it. But and I'm not wearing my Spartan. I'm wearing that. Hold on, I got a better idea. Let me just get it. This might be annoying, but I feel like it's necessary for content purposes. Let's see. Uh, Now let's see if I can get this on. I haven't used it in a while. Where's the... Yes. Yes, this is my conspiracy helmet. I am Fallout. Okay, actually, this is terrible. This is terrible. Well, but is this part of the conspiracy talk of NXT being still considered the minor leagues events, that they're going to use all recorded footage? Okay, yep, nope. Nope. Okay, I haven't used this in such a long time. Luckily, it's not the red and black helmet one where people got mold stuff in it. Uh, um, I'll just put this on the floor right now. Wait. Oh god. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Okay. We're probably never putting that back on again for conspiracy talk. Maybe. Yeah, so yeah, is this part of WWE using footage instead of just handing out a Capitol Center wrestling form? Because I'm like, why can't, like, does Vince think no one watches NXT, but because AEW's kicking their ass every week virtually? Is that it? Or is just WWE just not lazy to buy a domain and do the registering? God, I haven't used that helmet in a long time. I just used it for decoration purposes. I haven't used it as a costume. Oh god, Fallout 76 was a disaster. But moving on from that, yeah, I'm just confused. Like, Fightful Select backs this up, so there has to be some credibility, especially with Twitter users commenting about it. But I'm more confused than pissed off, honestly. AEW's Matt Hardy has been cleared for in-ring action. So it was reported back at All Out, Matt Hardy's Broken Rules match ended up early because of a incident that we will never talk about, unless I talk about All Out. The Rogue One didn't have long to celebrate, blah, 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 blah. However, as Sammy Guevara suddenly appeared on the Titantron and revealed himself as the mystery attacker, many assumed that, including Hardy, had assumed their feud was over after All Out, but the Spanish guy said their rivalry isn't over until he sends Matt home for good. Okay, so Matt Hardy is cleared for return. So, okay. Yeah, Matt Hardy and Sammy Guerrero's feud, it really should have stopped at AEW All Out, because it's reaching a point where it's become. I'm not saying it's Guerrero's fault. I'm saying that Matt probably gets way too excited in being allowed to express himself and wanting to get back to the point that he's risking his own health. But yeah, it just worries me about how Matt is going so far with this. But when the Sammy Guerrero feud started, it was one disaster after another. There was the legit steel chair hitting his skull and blood visuals involved, and then there's the incident All Out. So I'm like, okay, if Matt's coming back, he needs to at least be more careful. All fans like his hard work, but we don't want to, uh, you know, we don't want to see him, get killed in the ring. Oh, and speaking of, John Cena gets married at a private ceremony on the October 12th in Tampa, Florida. Oh God! Wow! Oh God! If things were different, I'm pretty sure I know someone who would be theoretically pissed at this. I'm like, so Cena doesn't want to tie the knot with one person, but he'll tie the knot in private with this other person. Oh God! Oh God! Like it's always been described, Cena doesn't want to get married ever again. Then he just goes in and gets married. Okay. I'm just laughing more than I'm actually mad. Like, this is his life, and everything. But it's like, oh God, imagine have certain stands and whatnot and fanatics go ahead and look at this and was like, oh, so you marry this person, but you couldn't marry Nikki, because that's the internet. It exists. But yeah, oh God. But to celebrate, PWI Pro Wrestling Illustrated has announced that Bayley is at number one in the PWI Women's 100. But joining them is not only Bayley, but all the four horsewomen. And the top five: Bayley at number one, Becky Lynch at number two, Asuka at number three, Charlotte Flair at four, Sasha Banks at five. And Hikaru Shida is the number six. Tessa Blanchard is number seven. Rio is number eight. Io Shirai is number nine. And I can't pronounce number 10's name, so I'm not even going to try. But, yeah, so, their win-loss record. So, yeah, remember, the whole thing is, like, I was, like, surprised this was going, because I was thinking to myself, well, how would this work? Because, due to the virus and everything, like, even with the whole, COVID stuff, there was Becky Lynch getting pregnant. Charlotte Flair disappeared for the last half of this year so far. Sasha Banks is Sasha Banks. Becky Lynch and Asuka, okay, she's been dealt a bad hand by the WWE machine, because even though she's champion, it doesn't feel like they care that she's champion. And Bayley is, well, Bayley, so we all enjoy her, right? But especially when fans get way too perverted over when she wears shorts. Yeah. So, congratulations, Bayley. You made it to number one. And along with the rest of the four horsewomen and Asuka, At least she beat Charlotte Flair at that, and in the ring finally. So ROH is not using talent who were at the Collective over the COVID-19 concerns. Ring of Honor is taking precautions following multiple positive COVID tests at the Collective. The Collective. John Pollock of Post Wrestling reports ROH will not be using talent who appeared at the Collective for their last set of television tapings due to their precautionary reasons. Dave Meltzer adds that ROH television had to be rewritten after certain talent were sent home. Thus far, Cabana Mandan, and AC Mack and Dan the Dad have revealed that they have tested positive following their appearances at the Collective this past weekend in Indiana. ROH COO Joe Koff gave the following statement. While ROH does not publicly discuss specific internal decisions, ROH is taking every measure to preserve the integrity of its rigorous health and safety protocols for the upcoming tapings. ROH has created a bubble environment in Baltimore and follows a strict COVID protocol, all which you could check out. But 12 events were held across 3 days as part of the Collective. On Wednesday, St. Louis Anarchy announced they were postponing their October 16th event due to COVID concerns, as a great deal of the roster were around someone who tested positive at Collective. They are now set to host and is set to hold its last resort event in California on October 17th. So yeah, also certain what I should have been liking this wrestler, and now I no longer kind of have respect for him. He continues to be against the whole mask policy because it's a symbol of tyranny. It's a mask. It is not tyranny. It's not a dictatorship. It's not the 1930s when that was when branding people with something was a completely different meaning. It's health safety reasons. It's not because someone's different than you. But no. The masks, they are a symbol of oppression. They will oppress us. And I was like, oh, God damn it. Like, we can't win with these people, can we? Am I high? Am I the asshole, apparently? Because I want to care for people. I want to be safe. I want to protect. I want to be healthy, helping people with this crisis. Am I really the bad guy here? But, yeah. I don't know what's going on with people nowadays. Oh, yeah, I'm not talking about this one because if you add the speaking out movement, I do not want to cover him right now. So, WWE is set to premiere yet another documentary series, a film. The Austin Film Festival and WWE announced that the world premiere of The Brothers of Destruction will air during the festival's closing night slate of programming. Brothers of Destruction will chronicle the legacy of Kane and The Undertaker. The 60-minute film was directed by Kieran Bent, produced by Brian Decker, and executive produced by Ben Hauser and Brian, whatever the last name is. And yeah, I don't know when this is going to premiere and everything. It just shows up the Austin Film Festival. Oh, but there is good news. The Undertaker's Last Ride docuseries will be released in the UK on Monday, November 23rd, and in the US on Tuesday, December 15th. Fans of the US will be able to purchase a DVD and Blu-ray set early, the exclusive at Walmart stores beginning Tuesday, November 17th. Woo! So, yeah, Blu-ray will include the bonus items such as a mini comic book and artwork. There will be around 20 minutes of bonus footage included with the 2-disc set, DVD set, and single disc Blu-ray. There will be a bonus animated Tales from the Deadman episode included with the DVD and Blu-ray, at least in the UK. It's also been revealed that UK fans will have access to a 30th anniversary collector's edition Blu-ray, but there's no word yet if that will be available to fans of the US. The collector's edition comes with bonus items as well. Woo! I'm excited. I love the series. I'll probably talk about it on a future date, but when I probably get the Blu-ray. Hope they make a steelbook. I am addicted to steelbooks, if you cannot tell. Definitely not an addiction. Okay. So, radio and podcast personality Sam Roberts is getting his own WWE Network show. Oh, announcing on Twitter today, announcement time. I'm so happy to announce the next Thursday, 10/22, not Sam Wrestling, comes to the WWE Network. This will be a brand new show, not a video version of the podcast, produced by me every Thursday morning on WWE Network. This is surreal. Let's have some fun. Yeah, so on the 22nd, we'll be getting Sam Roberts on podcasting duty. And the last time I looked at even watched Sam is... When was the last time I saw him? Was it when he was dissing Bianca Belair to the point that people couldn't tell if it was a shoot or not? Like, I'm gonna admit, I couldn't tell. Like, that's how far I don't remember him. Like, that was like the last time I ever saw him, I think. I do not know what happened between him. I do not know, honestly. I am greatly like, I can't remember the last time I watched Sam Roberts. That was probably the last time I ever saw him. I think considering this, he still works for WWE, but has an affiliation with them. But like, oh god, I really don't remember. I honestly do not remember. But I am royally screwed, aren't I, on this? So my greatest fear has been confirmed. So yeah, so remember that when Mustafa Ali joined Retribution, um yeah, I had a fear that this relates to Mustafa Ali's reason why he didn't want to turn heel for many years, for some time now, was because he feared what would happen if a guy of his ethnicity and religious background was to become a heel and a villain guy. So yeah, so a Twitter user on Twitter attacked a fan, essentially. A Twitter user attacked Ali, who coined Retribution as a terrorist group that will eventually be disbanded and possibly killed off by Bray Wyatt. Ali just tweeted, "There it is," and I was like, "Okay, yep, no, everyone should be pissed off at this point." Like, oh god. So yeah, Ali, this was the fear I had. Like, considering the group is all black clothing, have these and is clearly politically charged with everything going on in the world right now with riots and protests, and then you got a guy who's of Muslim religious ideology and everything, and you were like, oh god damn it. And then when you turn him heel and you're making him the leader of the group, I'm getting Muhammad Hassan flashbacks. Except that was bad timing. This one is known to be aware of things more so. Like, at least the Muhammad Hassan incident was completely out of their control. Well, they could have cut the footage, but that was too late apparently. But yeah, this was the thing I was afraid of, that people would start going ahead and believing that this is clearly him being a terrorist because of his religious background. And it seems like he's not surprised. He knew this was coming. And Mace, aka I completely forgot which wrestler this is supposed to be because I do not take most of the names seriously, wrote, "Delete your account." The tweet was deleted, so fans have condemned this guy's actions, and Mustafa Ali clearly knew this was coming. So, yeah, sucks for Mustafa Ali that he's now going to be dealing with this for a while. Well, and probably deal with it for life, because you know how Muslim phobia exists, unfortunately, Islamophobia and everything. Yeah. Moving on, Paul Heyman is apparently teasing that Ronda Rousey is signing a WWE contract extension. Paul Heyman spoke with the New York Post, where he hinted that Rousey may have already extended her WWE contract during her time away. So there's a funny thing about people who don't discuss their business in public forums. Heyman said when asked if fans will see Ronda back in WWE before the April date. Everyone presumes that Ronda Rousey's contract expires at a certain time. I don't understand why people don't realize that perhaps, just perhaps, Ronda's contract has been extended, or she has worked out a new deal, and it would not benefit either WWE or Ronda Rousey to go public with that information. But why wouldn't people understand that it would be kept secret? Keeping things a secret would be on brand for Ronda Rousey, as her WWE debut was kept a secret from many of those who she shared a locker room with. Also, if there's WWE has no media plans to perform, then it wouldn't make sense to announce a contract extension, and if she won't be programming for months. Heyman also implied that if Ronda Rousey was to return to WWE, then it would be on a big stage, which all but rules out WWE Thunderdome in front of no real fans. Ronda Rousey is a trailblazer, and I would suggest the next time you see Ronda Rousey, she will be making history whatever she does. And if she does it with WWE, it will be something that will elevate the manner of which women's wrestling is performed and presented, because Ronda will never be the status quo. Ronda Rousey will always disrupt the status quo and create a new environment that all of us must aspire to. So yeah, the continuing saga of Ronda Rousey and WWE in the future with that. I do not know what the end game goal is. She says she doesn't want to do touring stuff anymore. She tried it out and was like never again, which I totally get. 300 days a year, but at the same time, it's like all these people that do the work, their team, they have to do it, and they don't have Ronda Rousey's status. But yeah, showrunner John Ferreira offers an update on when filming will begin for the third season of The Mandalorian. He told Variety that filming is expected to begin before the end of this year. Production will kick off after series star Pedro Pascal finishes his shooting obligations for the wacky Nicolas Cage, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Wait, that's an actual thing? I didn't even know that. So, yeah. So, some people point out that whereas other major TV shows and movies have been delayed or shut down entirely due to the virus, The Mandalorian is in a unique position due to how many of the characters already wear masks as part of their costume, while the production uses Fortnite developers' incredible technology to create virtual sets. So, Ferreira backs up saying, we're in a very small situations, and oftentimes we do have a lot of characters in masks. And we also have a lot of digital work that augments things. So we're a show that's probably well equipped to be flexible based on protocols that are emerging surrounding work restarting. Yeah, I totally get it. So The Mandalorian pretty much wins 2020. Never thought I heard that. So the continuing decline of the movie industry continues as it turns out that movie studios can legally own theaters again. A New York judge struck down that ruling in August, but thus far, studios don't seem to be taking the bait. The CEOs of Warner Bros. And Universal said the past week that there are no plans to do so. But we don't have no plans to do that currently. Universal chairman Donald Langley, when asked if her company was interested in buying up movie theaters in the struggling industry, we had no plans either. Added Warner Bros. Chair and CEO Anna Sonoff. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong. The two were speaking at a global conference virtual panel. Oh, and the Warner Bros. Chair laughed at as she answered. So, oh god. So even the executives were like, nope, we're taking our hands off of this. And everyone would assume they would, because, he who controls the theater chains shall control the movie distributions. So even the executives are like, no. We are not going into that egg. We're not walking into that rabbit hole. So, oh yeah. So there was some debate going on regarding the PlayStation update that reportedly was including recording our voice chats and whatnot, party chats. and saying how it's for a security purpose. However, Ask PlayStation UK on YouTube wrote on Twitter wrote, "Hello, the notification advises you that other users may be recording your voice conversation. We do not record party chats." So yeah, the feature is only available on PS5, but the pop-up notification that's appearing now is alerting PS4 users that when they are in chat with a PS5 user, those recordings could be set to Sony for moderation review. So it's sort of Big Brother, but not. At the same time, it could be. Like I thought, like this was going to be finally introducing podcast work in the gaming industry. We all play our games and drink stuff and whatnot, have fun along the way, and Sony capitalizes on that, and we get money out of it. Oh, by the way, the PS4 8.0 update finally adds more security for your PSN account. Now, what is this long-awaited feature? The update lets you switch from SMS to third-party app authentication for two-step verification. They never use. Oh god, I've heard the stories about how he, how Sony doesn't really have the best PSN security stuff in the world. So this is just amazing. Among Us, Fez Clan is calling it the first ever Among Us tournament. It's been announced by Fez Clan. The popular esports organization Fez Clan has announced that it will host an Among Us tournament on October 19th at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The tournament, Fez Clan and Among Us in Ventilation, is limited to 40 spots for select Fez talent, streamers, and celebrity friends of the organization. A cash prize of 25 grand and is on the line for those competing in the tournament. The current roster confirmed participants is Fez Apex, Fez Adapt, Fez Nadheel, Faz Sway, Faz Blaze, Faz High Sky, Faz and LeBron James' son, LeBron James Jr., aka Faz Brony, one of Faz Clan's newest signees. More competitors will be announced soon. As the tournament itself, it will be a solo comparative game where every crewmate or imposter is playing for themselves. You can watch the Fez Clans Among Us in the Inventilation live stream on Fez Clans' official Twitch and YouTube channels. Watching the tournament will give you a chance to win limited edition Fez Clan merchandise as well. Specifically on how the giveaways will be conducted were not revealed. Earlier this week, a member of the esports organization came out as transgender. Oh wait, this is something else. I'm not going to dig into that rabbit hole, but good for them. Part of the National Coming Out Day. Cool. Xbox Series X Quick Resume works even after a console reboot. One of the hallmark features of the Xbox Series X and Series S as console is Quick Resume, the ability to suspend multiple games and swap between them with minimal loading. It's a feature that will let you zip between pods games in a way that only new internal SSD could afford, but it can also save your progress after a console reboot. Quick Resume won't only work with all your SS Series X and S is on standby. Instead, game states will also be retained during full console cold boot, which includes a full loss of power to the console. You can still presumably lose progress if the console loses power suddenly, such as power outage for example, but if you're planning on shutting down your system for an update or when you have to move your console, you can rest assured that your games will be ready when you boot up again. The feature was announced earlier this year and detailing some of the technical specifics. So that's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool, honestly. I'm excited. I've been excited for the Xbox Series X. We already pre-ordered it. Woohoo! And we'll be getting it soon this year. But yeah, that's actually pretty cool that Microsoft's really listening and not making the same mistakes and trying to add more features to help the consumers more. So, PlayStation 5 builds an in-game help right into the interface for PS Plus members. So the developers can enable a PlayStation 5 feature letting you view contextual help videos without fear of spoilers for PlayStation Plus members. Oh god. It was already bad enough when PlayStation Plus now became the home for multiplayer, whereas before they gave away multiplayer for free, and PlayStation Plus was more like a bonus for stuff for extra stuff and discounts. Oh god, no! Don't pull a Microsoft, everybody. Don't pull a pre. Like Sony already has this role of being the reverse bad guy in the relationship between Sony and Microsoft, which is still weird. So there will be a new Destiny 2 raid that will launch 11 days after the Beyond Light expansion pack. The new raid in Destiny 2 will open November 21st, or 11 days after the expansion kicks itself off on November 10th. The world's first raid race will begin at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and 6 p.m. BST. Bungie, specifically community manager David Durge, who announced he's leaving the studio on November 6th, outlined the raid timetable in a new blog post. As expected, the Beyond Light raid will build on the rules of the previous World First races. For starters, if you use the enhanced contest modifier, capping players 20 power up from 15 below each can counter for the first 24 hours after launch. Artifact power will be disabled, going above to 1,230 power will not provide any additional advantage in the final fight. This will keep playing field even, ensuring that hardcore players can't simply grind their ways to victory by outlevering the competition. These rules also confirm that the raid will scale up to 125 power, or 1,250 power, which puts the Season 12 power cap into perspective. This year, the ritual for naming the winners will be different. Following all the immediate fanfare and bustle that the followers that the checkered flag, our data scientists will be spending extra time validating the first finishing team's run. Expect the official announcement for World First to come a little bit later than usual. Disqualifications can happen as per the official rules, so finish strong, even if you hear rumors of another team's victory. Only one team can claim the World First title, but anyone who clears the new raid within 24 hours of its release, while the contest modifier is still active, will receive an exclusive emblem. And if you beat it by December 1st, you'll get access to a special raid jacket in Bungie store, of course. Clearing the raid at all will come with its own emblem as well. So, yeah, I haven't played Destiny 2 in a while. I probably will get back to that one day. But, yeah, I'm just hearing all this stuff about all this interesting stuff going on after Bungie left Activision, which, thank God. So, yeah, look forward to that, everyone. Look forward to Destiny 2's big future or post Activision. Also, Cyberpunk 2027 has announced a motorcycle that is made by Keanu Reeves' company. Yeah, I didn't even know that. Arch Motorcycles Arch is the company that Keanu Reeves founded in 2011 with the custom bike builder Grand Hollinger, which offers vehicles kicked it out with plenty of personal touches. During today's stream, CD Projekt Red showed off some of the time developers will spend with the pair recording sound effects for the in-game bike in California. They also showcased another vehicle. Vehicle opens the hood of 5 classes. So, yeah, it rolls out the garage door for vehicles in a new trailer showing off 5 classes of automobiles you get to ride through Night City. Once again, I am hyped for this game. I really am. But I hate that it comes with the crunch mode and the dictatorship that they're clearly authority. At least they admitted that, yeah, we promised you guys, and I'll take the fall for it. At least that's it. But like, if there's corruption management, that I've been hearing that lately, then I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, just bad all around. So there has been an email that came out. PlayStation is shipping PS5 accessories early, according to a Twitter post and an email that shows a picture of the email. Great news! We're excited to be shipping PS5 accessories early. The new launch date of your pre-order items will be October 30th. And whatnot, according to this user's email posting they made. And Wario64 wrote, Sony is shipping PS5 accessories on October 30th. Other retailers like Target have them dated as well. So yeah, they have. So I'm pretty sure this is part of like getting ahead of the curve to prepare fans for the PS5 launch. And okay, does anyone remember Google Stadia? Yeah, Cyberpunk's coming out to that, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, does anyone even really care? It's gonna hit Google Stadia on the same day as PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and I generally do not care. I completely forgot that Google Stadia is still a thing. So, moving on. Here's how PS5 activities will work according to Sony. You should not notice what's going on behind the scenes. So, PS5 activities can totally change the way you play a session, start a play session, but they will take some extra work for developers to really shine. Sony just gave the world a long way deep dive into the PS5 UI, and one of the standout features is PS5 activity. These cards automatically pop up for each game with interesting places to start playing, and so you can just hit the card and load right into the content in question. They can also include guide videos that will use your context in the game to figure out what you need to know without showing spoilers, and they offer other quick access features as well. PS5 will show off a bunch of features like this in the PS5 launch games like Sackboy: A Big Adventure, and first-party Sony titles that are sure to take advantage of the activities. However, Sony wants to make sure every game uses this new system whenever it makes sense, and since Sony's Interactive Entertainment Senior Vice President of the Platform and Planning Management confirmed the Digital Foundry that will require some extra work on the back end. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like I said, I'm curious to know how they make this work. But should there be a feature where they can allow spoilers involved? Because if they're like, let's be honest, it, YouTube exists. So Borderlands 3 will be getting a next gen upgrade and a new season pass. So it's announced that Season 2's pass will include 2 new DLCs packs called the Designer's Cut and Director's Cut, plus new Vault Hunter skins that will be revealed later in October. The Designer's Cut add-on, which launches November 10th, will include an additional skill tree for each Vault Hunter and a brand new standalone mode called Arms Race and whatnot. And I'm curious as to know, starting October 20th, the team of Gearbox will host a series of streams on the Borderlands Twitch channel outlining more goodies that will come with it, with the Designer's Cut. The Director's Cut add-on has a planned spring 2021 release date. So, okay, so we already have Hollywood making extended director cuts. We got Ultimate Cut, Redux, and everything, and heck, even the X-Men comic got a extended cut. So remember that graphic novel God Loves Man Kills book? So they relaunched it with calling it a God Loves Man Kills extended cut with the same writer and artist. So Chris Claremont is back to doing what he wanted. It was ordered to tie it in more into the X-Men universe because for years it was still debated on when it takes place exactly. And oh man, oh god, so yeah, yeah. So now video games are getting director's cuts. What's next? It was already weird enough as it is that comics did that, but oh god, oh god. Oh, there is one piece of news regarding comics. John Ridley to write Wolverine for the first Marvel work in January. Oscar winner John Ridley will contribute a story to the Wolverine Black, White, and Blood anthology. And this will focus on Wolverine's history in Japan as they depict Logan collapsing with an old enemy, Silver Samurai, a rivalry that recently reignited the current X of Swords X-Men crossover. I've already talked about that. I was still surprised by that. And he said in a statement, I could think of no better way to kick off my writing relationship with Marvel Comics than by contributing to a truly fantastic anthology series around Wolverine. Equally exciting is having a story illustrated by George Forens. By George Forhens. I'm pretty sure I butchered that wrong. I look forward to writing more stories set in the Marvel Universe and with their roster of iconic characters. So, yeah, I'm not a little surprised by this because George is also the writer, is also the artist for, Rorschach by Tom King, so he has a lot of things busy. But I'm excited to see what can be brought to the table. Oh, Ridley Scott has a huge historical epic known as Kickback Bag. Yeah. This will be the next big project after 2021's Gucci. That's a movie. And it's going to play in a certain actor will be playing Napoleon. So basically, what I'm hoping he does, what this specific actor does, if you can tell what I'm about to say, when you bring me up on stage, can you introduce me as Napoleon? Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix, aka the Joker, is playing Napoleon in this historical epic. Okay, that's actually kind of awesome. I would love to see that, but isn't Napoleon French? Is Joaquin Phoenix French? I could be wrong. I don't know these people. And Xbox Series X runs cooler than the Xbox One X, and it's way less hot than the PS4 Pro. There were some concerns that I talked about, but Microsoft was trying to assure people that yes, um, this is what was mentioned. They tested it out, doing this thing. While PC expelled the coolest air, the Series X came in a respectable second, way below the PS4 Pro. After 10 minutes running Hitman 2's Mumbai level in 23.6 Celsius room, the Series X ran for an average of 47.7 degrees Celsius, maxing out at 50.4 Celsius. That's about 4 degrees lower than the Xbox One X and nearly 15 degrees cooler than the air leaving the notoriously noisy fan of the PS4 Pro, which hit highs of 65 Celsius at an average or it's 62.5. So unsurprisingly, the PC, which was plenty more space to push the then hot air out, came out a lot cooler at an average 35.5 degrees. So it's not the most scientific, but it's an interesting comparison, particularly as many of those who've had their hands on the Series X so far have also noted that it's extremely quiet, suggesting that fans aren't having to work too hard to get all that heat out. Though these are, of course, last-gen comparisons, so it'll be interesting to see how the console stacks up against the PS5, but it looks like those Microsoft designers have done an impressive job. Woo! So, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, Cody Rhodes went on an interview talking about more on Busted Open podcast about how about double down on the freedom of AEW wrestlers have to compete in other promotions. And it's saying this: you can't put a saddle on a Mustang. People need this. They want to experience other world, and no contract in AEW is a blanket contract. Everybody can go from different places and register down. The doors are open. I know the classic thing in wrestling is perception is reality. In 2020 to 2021, it kind of feels like reality is reality because we can see how many wrestlers just via social media and just the different platforms. So you just say you're the best anymore. You have to get out there. Many AEWs have lent their services to other promotions while still being under contract with Tony Khan and the company. John Moxley is especially having been fighting in New Japan, where he's the current IWGP US champ. Cody says he enjoys seeing Mox compete in New Japan because he feels he represents AEW strongly. I love it when John makes the move out there and does something like that. He always represents AEW really highly because he always represents himself really highly. So that was the cool thing. I think you'll see that as long as AEW is around. I can never see the doors closing or the bridges going up. It's not the type of culture that Tony's helped create and not the type of place we work. So, yeah, they still think they're going to continue changing the game, and yeah, they aren't, and they're vowing to continuing their mission to change the world. Yeah, I had to do that because I'm insane. But there is one bad news I must end this on because I am an evil psychotic madman, and I have no remorse. So, tragically, WrestleVote is reporting that the typically weekly-long event loop will not return to the WWE schedule until 2022. The weekly loop includes Friday Night SmackDown, non-televised live events on Saturday and Sunday, plus Monday Night Raw at all different locations. So, they won't be returning to a regularly scheduled touring until 2022. Coronavirus! This is how much coronavirus has ruined all of our lives. So, I'm curious to know where that information came from. How did it came to that idea, if that's the case. Should I put on my conspiracy helmet back on? Probably not. It's a little dusty. But should we come to a conclusion that Vince's buddy in high places might have given him some information? Food for thought. Or they're just being precautionary and okay, I can't finish that. Vince does not give two shits. It's if he had his way, he would run 10,000, he would run 80,000 people at WrestleMania and infect everyone if it means he got money out of it. However, that he knows that even he couldn't win a legal case like that. Though he is the same guy that thinks he owns everyone's real names, and he also has a superiority complex where he thinks he's God, and then also the delusion that he thinks he could take on the government and do whatever he wants because his buddy's in the White House. So, ugh. So yeah, that's about it for this day of Neo Reality Collective news. Man, Thursday, man, this week went by fast for a lot of people. I think. Where tomorrow's Friday, and that will be the last day for this week's of news that we can talk about. So looking forward to Friday and experiencing the craziness that we have to offer for the weekend. This was Neo Reality Entertainment and Neo Reality Collective. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to Super More. And as always, stay safe, everybody, and peace out.